The Saunders County Sheriff's Office confirming today a missing Lincoln man died in a car crash. 27-year-old Harrison Shores was reported missing last week. Yesterday, he was found dead inside of a vehicle at the bottom of a creek west of Ceresco. An autopsy is scheduled to determine the cause of death, but foul play is not suspected. President Trump facing some backlash from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle after a social media post. The video featured claims of election fraud. It also showed the faces of former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama superimposed onto the bodies of apes. The post was removed around noon today. The White House says a staffer mistakenly posted the content.
This is still an ongoing investigation, and we are still doing our due diligence to make sure that we balance the investigative integrity of this case.
Authorities say the search is far from over for the missing Stromsburg couple believed to be dead. Unidentified human remains were found on a private property yesterday. They were found in an area where authorities were looking for Hannah Neville and Roberto Tanner. Investigators say they cannot yet confirm whose remains were discovered. A trial date is set for champion boxer and Omaha native Terrence Bud Crawford. Crawford is scheduled to go to court on April 13th. In September, police ticketed him for careless driving. Omaha police ordered everyone out at gunpoint after seeing guns in the car. It took some time before they knew that Crawford and his security team's guns were legally owned. And Luigi Mangioni's state trial is now set to begin in June. It comes months before he's scheduled to face federal charges for the murder of a healthcare chief executive. Defense attorneys previously said they needed more time to prepare for the federal case. Mangioni faces life in prison if convicted of the most serious state or federal charges. Breaking tonight, stocks hitting a historic milestone. The Dow reached 50,000 points for the first time. The blue chip index crossed the milestone after surging more than 1,200 points. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq both finished the week off in the green.